What's going on, guys? Welcome back to episode 5 of the Next Wave podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Blake B. Zanny Janney, joined by my co host, Dak D. Woody Woodall. Today, we've got some topics coming at you after the Thanksgiving break. Hope everyone had a blessed and successful holiday. We're going to be talking about some MW3 competitive stuff as usual, some new and upcoming games in the space, and we're going to talk about this year's Game of the Year awards as well as our. Uh, Ongoing games, all the categories, and lastly, we're going to do our segment pick and ban to end off the show. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the podcast, guys. We are fresh off of the first stint of the 2 month holiday that is Christmas, part one being Thanksgiving. Dak, did you grow up one of those families that as soon as Thanksgiving was over, the Christmas tree is going up, or was it, it doesn't really, just as long as it's up before Christmas?
So at my house, just with my mom and dad, we would kind of just put it up maybe like a week after Thanksgiving. But my grandma,
Okay.
I'm talking like this year. So like I go to my grandma's and we have all our family over there for Thanksgiving every year. And this year, 5 o'clock, like we had like a lunch kind of. So like everyone was kind of leaving by
same.
5 because people had other family Thanksgivings to go to and
Sure.
stuff. And she goes, all right, everyone's gone. Go get the tree. I was like, what? And she's like, yeah, it's in the garage. Let's go put the tree up. And we went and put the Christmas tree up literally not even
After
30
dinner.
minutes after everyone left.
Yep.
So yeah, we're
That's
right back
kinda,
into it.
we're not that. I feel like a couple years my mom did that just because like there wasn't any night plans and she might have been bored, and so we're like,
Yeah.
let's put up the Christmas tree. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure my parents had their lights up before Thanksgiving this year, and I think that was what we always did, was mostly the lights. Christmas tree was
Mm-hmm.
more of a game time decision thing. But yeah, me and Cass yesterday put up our Christmas tree, and got the stockings hung and stuff
Nice.
like that. We still need to get a stocking for Molly. Can't see
I
her
was
right
gonna
now, but
say, bro, does Molly have one?
she needs
That's
one. She
funny.
doesn't have one yet, but we need to get one for her.
Yeah, get a
Um,
little puppy
but
stocking.
yeah, my Thanksgiving went well. Cowboys caught a W. Darren
They
Bland
did,
broke the
bro.
record for most pick sixes in a season, which was fucking electric. Like, being a Cowboy fan, that
Yeah.
was so electric for
Yeah.
me, because especially when you just come off a season where Diggs tied the single season interception
Mm-hmm.
record, I believe. I
Yeah.
don't think he broke it. I think he tied it with 11.
Yeah.
And then this year he gets hurt, and we're like, damn, our secondary's fucked. Nope. Deron Bland
Yeah.
and Gilmore. I mean, you don't hear anything about Gilmore. He's just locking down
Dog,
everyone.
yeah.
And so we
That's
got,
been him for
yeah,
every season, bro. Like Gilmore is
yeah.
so just quiet all year, and secretly this dude's just locking receivers up left and
He's
right.
he doesn't get through. He's either scared. They're scared to throw to his side, or his receiver's just not open.
Yeah.
And he's let up. I think he's like, literally, I can remember the one or two touchdowns he's let up. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
it. But Diggs went out. I was scared, and then Deron Bland was like, "Nah, this is my
Yeah, bro.
time to
That
shine."
dude
And
is
he just
an
is going
electric
crazy.
factory, bro.
He's
I
a dog.
I
He's a
left the
dog.
room and came back in as he was catching it and ran it in, and he was breaking tackles. Like, this dude wanted it, bro. It was
Let's go.
it was a hell of a pick six.
Yeah, he within. I think he was within the 15 or the 10-yard line when those last two players were on him, and he
Mhm.
just shoved.
Made
He
him
just
run
was
into each
moving.
other.
Yeah, he made him look stupid. But yeah, hope you all listening had a great holidays. Sounds like we had a great time here. Dak, what is your favorite? Or first off, are y'all a ham or turkey or both?
We're turkey, just pretty
Is it
traditional.
just normal turkey?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
Okay.
they'll try to season it up sometimes, but
Sure,
mostly
sure.
just normal turkey.
Dude, my uncle, he's like Cajun born and raised, and he's Uncle Chuck, so I just call him Chunkle. Or
Chunkle.
Chunkle Chuck. Yeah, Chunkle. And so I'll pull up there. Usually we start eating around 1 o'clock, and I get there around 11:30. I'll pull up, and he's already been out there for an hour with the long
What a guy.
cylindrical fryer, and we have fried turkey. Slap Yo Mama is so
Dude,
good,
yeah.
bro. Oh my gosh, dude, it is the best. It's so juicy and succulent, and it's got the skin. Oh my
Oh man.
god, dude, it is the best shit ever. So I definitely that's what I go for the most
Damn,
part.
bro. We need to step our game up, bro. We
And
on
we
some
got normal
unseasoned
turkey.
fucking dry ass turkey just
Gotta
every
load it
year.
up with stuff on top of it to make
Yeah.
it good type
Yeah,
shit.
bro.
Yeah, he kills it every year, and he gets there at like 9 and starts it, and we eat at
Damn.
1, and he does 2 of them and goes to town. But
Damn.
um,
Shout out
okay,
Chunkle,
so
bro.
yeah, shout out Chunkle. But the main question is, what's your best side dish? Like your best, like it has to be on the plate.
Yeah, I mean, my aunt makes like homemade stuffing that is just gas, bro.
Hanging.
It's fire. Like I have like 60% stuffing on my plate. Like it's so good, bro. Every
Yeah,
year
for
I'm looking forward to
me,
that.
yeah, I understand. I don't eat stuffing, but I can see why people like it. But mine's definitely mashed potatoes,
Oh yeah.
and the dinner rolls. The dinner
Mhm.
rolls, oh, with butter on. Oh my God, I don't know why we only eat those at Thanksgiving and
Yeah,
Christmas.
bro.
I need to have those more often. But mashed potatoes is like overall like one of my favorite sides in general. And so at
Mhm.
Thanksgiving, it's
Yeah,
just
bro.
that much better.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
but yeah, happy Thanksgiving to all the listeners. Let's go ahead and get into our topics here.
Let's do it.
Getting into some Modern Warfare 3. It is the bulk of our show. It is the heart of this show. We've got the competitive map pool officially decided. So they've been scrimming for a while on what was most likely the maps. There are a couple maps that got swapped in and out and taken out of the rotation. So for Hardpoint, we've got Terminal, Skid Row, Invasion, Karachi, and Subbase. And optics analyst JP Krez posted a video today that I watched most of, going over the current meta and how it applies right now. So I played some hardpoint scrims. Other than the spawns, are actually it's pretty good. I think we're gonna see most of these maps with 3 ARs, 4 ARs, and then one sub on some hills.
Yeah.
I think it's really gonna be 3 AR players and a flex, and
Mhm.
the other person is going to be a flex on some hills. So really not really a sub role in this game. I think that's going to impact phase and those rosters where the second sub isn't as good as other sub duos. I think that's really going to help those teams. We see it in some of the rosters that we didn't expect in the beginning, like Carolina
Mhm.
and Minnesota. They're looking good in scrims,
Dude, what
so
if
we'll
they're
see
low
how the.
key geniuses?
I know.
Seattle low
Like they
key
were
might
thinking,
be 200 IQ for that.
right? I know. Like Hook is just gonna be
Damn.
running around, and Abuza, Illy, and Arceus are gonna have an
Yeah.
AR, and Illy's already been looking really fucking good in S&D
Yeah,
off the
he
rip.
has.
So I'm interested to see how this map pool and weapon meta, I think more importantly, is going to affect some of these teams. S&D, pretty straight up. We've got Terminal, Invasion, Karachi,
Mhm.
Skid Row, and High Rise. Really good map pool, in my opinion, for S&D. Terminal S&D is dog shit, absolute dog shit. Super
Really?
one-dimensional, no. You
Yeah,
take 4
actually.
steps and you're watching crosses, top Eskies, you're snaking,
Yeah.
top Eskies. It's really bad. Like
Yeah,
offense is it's stupid.
I
It's
heard
terrible.
Scump talk about it and say that like, you got to get there quickly on
Right.
terminal. If you don't, they're just going to be set up and you're fucked. So like you got to make a
Exactly.
play and hit shit together quickly or
Exactly.
it's going to be
I
bad.
think I think I saw that exact clip and went into wagers that night, being like 0-3 on terminal in the past couple days to being
Mhm.
like 2-0 on the night. Because I was
Nice.
like, all right, listen, we're just doing this. I like
Mhm.
concocted a plan to go A. I was like, we're gonna go A. I'm gonna stun out the window to see if anyone's outside. We're gonna smoke off the mid hallway. Someone's gonna hold our big pinch, and we are flooding the fuck out of these guys at A
Yeah.
immediately. Didn't lose.
There
Didn't
you
lose.
go. Yeah.
And so I mean high rise, it's very very standard. You're not going to see a lot of crazy plays on that map, but it's just going to play straight up. You're going to favor the team that has the better AR players and a better sniper
Yeah.
on that map. But I mean, Invasion, Karachi, and Skid Row are all pretty much the more dynamic maps, I would say, where smokes are going to be really important. You're going to have some sub players who can make some routes and get into some nooks and crannies, and those maps are going to be especially fun to watch. And then lastly, we got Control, which is pretty straightforward. High rise Control. Haven't really looked at all the points on the map, but I feel like High Rise is a good control map just because of the back buildings being a
Yeah.
spawn point. Getting spawn trapped like that map is already designed to be spawn trapped in those
Mm-hmm.
buildings, so at least you know you're gonna have 10 to 20 steps when you spawn up.
Yeah.
Whereas in other spawn traps, you can literally spawn, go to the first angle, and you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Invasion in Karachi, I think Invasion is gonna be one of the better. Haven't seen any gameplay, but I feel like Invasion, if they get the points right,
Yeah.
it's going to be a really good control map because there's a lot of min-map manipulation,
Mm-hmm.
where you can cut off once you get on a point and you know you're capping this point. There's good positioning that you can make to cut off the defensive spawners and vice versa. So I think
Right.
that map's going to play well. And then Karachi for the last one, which probably going to be a pretty mixy control map,
Yeah.
because on all these other maps, like you think about Invasion, Diner to like the broken houses, like you can kind of there's a big line of sight there.
Mm-hmm.
You can see from point to point maybe. Karachi, like for sure you're gonna have one of them near A bomb and one of them near B bomb. You can't. There's no line of sight. Mid is
Yeah.
congested.
Yeah.
So
There's like
I'm
it's
really
like
interested to see
sectioned.
that.
You have like sections of that map. Like like the street where there's like cars and shit, and then you take a left and there's like that construction shit in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
exactly.
I feel like you just can't see anything like unless you're in a certain section of the map. It's all blocked off.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Yeah,
interesting.
S&D, it has proved very dynamic on that map for the past few days I've been playing. A lot of smokes, a lot of post plant spots for checking bomb, a lot of if you're gonna go plant B in the open street over there, you got to get back behind that bridge, like with the palm trees and stuff.
Right.
It's huge power position. If you can get there off rip on defense, it's really powerful. People already have pre-nades over top third from offense to prevent people from doing that. So I'm really excited for S&D this year. And Control, I think, is just going to play pretty straight up.
Yeah.
So this next part, I'm going to let you take over here. We had a PC Gamer review article about the movement.
Yeah, this is just fugaze of the week. All right.
Cheese of the week, weekly cheese.
Weekly just shit take about COD. PC Gamer Review says Modern Warfare 3 is not fun because Sledgehammer Games took a sledgehammer to the movement that Infinity Ward created in Modern Warfare 2. The reviewer calls slide canceling and faster mantling cheesy techniques that should be gone from the game. So I'm not going to get into it, but it's just crazy that a company puts an article out like this, and I really hope not too many people read that and were like, yeah, you're right, MW2 was better, because that's what makes the devs do stupid shit, like take red dots off and shit.
All that I take away from this article is the person who wrote it, that's part of PC Gamer Review, sucks at Call of Duty.
Yeah,
they suck.
Mm-hmm.
They suck at COD. They don't know what a skill gap is, and they're mad when there is one. Is what I'm getting. So
they should go work for Infinity Ward. They'd fit in.
Yeah, they should. They'd fit in perfectly. Yeah. They'd fit in perfectly at Infinity Ward. I would have been much more receptive of this article if they said that the spawns sucked. Like if they said they ruined the spawns.
They have no idea how to calculate spawns.
Exactly.
That didn't cross their mind.
The hardpoint hills with some of the spawns are iffy just because you can, like, we've seen clips on Invasion of people spawning on top of each other for that Palace Hill.
I saw some crazy shit today, bro.
Yeah, and we talked about it on the last episode, or the one before maybe, but like there's been a lot of talk has been coming about how there's so much snaking involved. You throw a trophy down top P5 on Invasion in that Palace, and you just snake the sandbags. It's a free 60. And so people are saying, let's just GA trophies so nades become more important. And then people are saying, but nades and EOD aren't consistent, so they're making nades broken, where they do or don't work. And so, and then also apparently for trophies, I mean, if we take trophies out, then streaks become good again. And then people are trying to say, oh, the cruise missile is OP, like it only takes 5, like whatever. And so it's just this huge back and forth with also DDoS, which is like a field upgrade, which is an EMP. So like getting close to the hill, popping your DDoS, destroying their trophies. So now you can, use your nades effectively.
Yeah.
Nade shot in them, they play those, older pro and 8s in the morning coaches and stuff. Karma plays it, Slacked, Router. They play it in the morning. They had been actually experimenting, running DDoS, making 2 subs, 2 ARs a thing, and like just experimenting and doing like these GAs that the pros are hesitant to do. And so I actually really love that. I think that's awesome
Yeah.
because like at the end of the day, they're not trying to go pro in those eights or anything like that. So they're like, yeah, let's mix it up. Let's show the
Right.
pros how to have fun and how to test these things. So saw that was pretty cool. But yeah, there's a lot of complaining going on, which a lot of it's warranted, and a lot of it's just like I don't know. A lot of it's like, dude, they're never gonna listen. Why complain? You
Yeah.
know? So
Yeah, no, that's my thing. I mean, I've seen nonstop tweets, just people like, "Oh, all they're doing is just snaking headies with a trophy. Like this hill's unbreakable. Blah blah blah. Like this game is broken." Everyone offers a way to fix it, but then there's a counter to that, and it's just a mess of arguments. And
yeah,
I'm wondering if people just complain more nowadays on Twitter, and people just love to bitch about games because you see it with almost any game that drops. If
that's
it's
true.
not perfect off rip, people are instantly trying to cancel the game, basically. But
Yeah, and I think we often forget how small of a sample size this Twitter competitive fan base is
yeah,
because I mean we we're the highest selling game every year, like by a long shot, and they're literally just dishing us out the same game with some little differences.
yeah,
And so we got to remember that there are hundreds if of millions, if not billions of other people playing the game and they are having a blast. And so it's just really hard for us to have these complaints because we're complaining to a wall, which
yeah,
just causes more complaining.
yeah,
It's just an endless cycle of bitching, not being heard, and no reception of those complaints. Now, granted, we have seen a lot more communication and changes off rip in this game than we have in like the past 2 or 3 CODs
yeah.
since Cold War, maybe. And Cold War didn't even get that many changes, other than I think there was like a spawn tweak
Mm-hmm.
in the middle of the game. Um, but like they're the highest sold, game. So I mean, the complaining, I mean, it's warranted, but it's not effective
Yeah,
to say the least. Like that's a good way to wrap it up.
yeah,
But speaking of Call of Duty's game sales, a $10 game has taken over MW3 in terms of sales, which is a $70 game, keep in
yeah,
mind. So a game that is a seventh the price of Call of Duty has now taken over in sales, and that game is Lethal Company.
yep,
I have about 30 minutes of game time with you guys on it, and I had a great time for 30 minutes. I still don't know everything about the game, but my TikTok is filled with it,
yeah.
and I keep getting fun. Every clip I see gets funnier and funnier and funnier. Explain to me and the listeners I know what the minuscule, like what the gameplay looks like, but what's the overall pull that everyone's loving? What's the overall goal of the game? Tell us about Lethal Company.
Yeah, so Lethal Company is like a survival co-op horror game basically, and it's all proximity chat, so you and three friends can hop in a game, and if you get too far away from someone, you can hear their voice kind of fade off, and like it's just so funny. But you work for the company, that's what it's called, the company, and they're like super shady. You don't know much about them, and you just go planet to planet and try to gather items and then sell them to reach your quota. But in these dungeons where all the items are, there's like different creatures trying to kill you, and it makes for some terrifying and hilarious moments. And each world is randomly generated and seeded, so you have a new experience every single time you go to a planet. Like you never know what the dungeon's gonna look like. You don't know what enemies are gonna be in there. Like it's brand new experience every time you go in there, and it is hilarious, bro. Like I've not gotten tired of it. I've not gotten tired of seeing TikTok clips. I've just loved this game since it came out.
Yeah, it has me rolling on the floor, bro. Some of these moments are fucking hilarious. I saw a TikTok today that literally could not have been scripted
Yeah.
any better, dude. It was like these three guys, or these two guys, like on top of like this little ledge, and they were looking down. They're kind of like in a wilderness biome, and they were looking down. Their ship was like over there or something. They were looking down at this creature, and they were like, "It responds to noise. Stop moving." And then one of the guys is dead, so he's spectating those two guys on top, and then the other one's like running from where they're looking down at the guy.
Yeah.
He's like beyond that. And so he switches to the other guy, and this guy doesn't know the guy's there yet. So he's running up this hill, and he's like, "Hey guys, I'm over here." While they're like, "Shh, shh, shh." And he runs up, and he's like, be quiet," and then he just gets eaten.
Oh, man.
And it's fucking hilarious. So I'm
Yeah.
interested to see how they capitalize off of this hype, and see what they do to it. because I know the graphics aren't necessarily great, and that's part of what makes it fun. But imagine this game with like some really good graphic improvements. I
Yeah.
imagine they're gonna start adding. They could add biomes, different enemies, different
Mhm.
uh, items that you can collect. And then what is there an after you go and sell them and meet your quota? Is there another like thing that makes it like? Is there another objective, or is
Yeah,
there
so
another thing that keeps pulling you back?
each time you have 3 days, which means you get 3 trips to different planets, and then at the end of those 3 days you have to go to the company building
Right.
and you sell all your stuff, and then if you reach your quota, your next quota gets even higher, and you keep going until you don't reach your quota, and then you lose, and then you have to restart.
Okay. And so, is there like a? Has anyone met a maximum yet? Like, is
I don't
there?
think so. I haven't heard anything about that. The furthest we got super far the other night, and we're at around like 1,500,
Oh wow.
and then ended up losing. So
What is it increased by? I know it starts as 150, then what?
yeah, and then it's about 100 each time, and then once you get up to like 800, then it goes up like 200 or 300 each time.
Okay.
So it gets pretty high, but overall it's super fun. My understanding, it was made from one man, just one developer. One dude just spent a ton of time making this game, and there's like a message that pops up that says like, it was a really rough road to get here, but we finally made it thanks to all the people that helped me out. And he has like 10 people listed. But yeah, I mean, it's crazy that one person, with little resources, can make a game that is outselling any AAA title you can think of right now.
Which is crazy.
Yeah, and
That is
it's been a
crazy.
blast. It gives me Among Us vibes, like that level of hype, and just this game came out of nowhere and everyone is playing it. It's kind of like Among Us, but
Yeah, I
I've
definitely get
enjoyed
the
the
Among Us
crap out
vibes.
of it. And if you guys have seen the TikTok, that's all I've been playing lately, so that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, yeah. Make sure to tune into the TikTok. Watch some of those videos. Posting a lot of content over there, and so I don't think it's been around long enough this year to win a Game of the Year award.
Yeah.
But we've got some nominees for the Game of the Year awards, including starting with Game of the Year. I don't. Are these all of them, or just the ones that
These are
we
all
would?
of them.
Okay. So Game of the Year, we've got Alan Wake 2.
Which is
Pretty
like
sure
that's kind of a horror game, like survival type of thing. It's like a horror
Okay.
game, story game. I don't know. I've
I've never
seen
played it.
videos and gameplay of the first one, but I never played this one either. I don't know too much
Yeah.
about it. I
Don't know
respect
too
its
much
greatness.
about it.
I'll say that.
Well, I'm surprised it's in the mix because it came out like a month or two ago.
Yeah, it must be really
So
good.
it's got to be pretty good, yeah. Baldur's Gate 3, which I know is one of the
Yeah.
favorites to win. Never played it. I know what it is. It's the
Yeah.
Dungeons and Dragon video game. You're rolling dice. A lot of different things can happen. A lot of customizability.
Mhm.
A lot of different storylines, pathways, decision making, all sorts of things. Did you play it?
No, but I watched like Mason and them play it a lot, and
Okay.
it's revolutionary the way that you can actually like change the outcome of certain scenarios by what you
Really?
happen to roll or choose to say. It's interesting.
Hmm. Awesome. Yeah, so I know that one's in the front running. Next one, my personal vote for Game of the Year, Spider-Man 2. Only on PS5, so I didn't get the chance to play it because I only have the PC. But I watched the gameplay, and let me tell you, this game was fucking phenomenal. I loved watching it, and so I can't imagine how much more enjoyment I would have got actually playing it. It was fucking dope. And I'm also a Spider-Man dweeb. I've got Spider-Man shit all around this room. You can see
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man. That's a
driver
blanket.
cover? Oh, it's a
That is a
blanket.
blanket folded up, and it goes over my head
Nice.
like a Spider-Man mask at the top. It's a child. It doesn't. It looks like a cape. The blanket looks like a cape because it's a
I'm
child's
fucking
blanket.
dead.
But yeah, like so I'm a little bit I was about to say bipolar
Biased.
towards towards Spider-Man 2, fucking phenomenal. Resident Evil 4, is that the remake?
Yeah, I believe so. Because Resident
Okay.
Evil 9 was that Lady Demonescu or whatever. You remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People were fucking posting like thirst traps,
Yeah.
TikToks of her and shit with her, like she got the gat or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah. But yeah,
Um,
4 is a remake. I'm sure it's great. Didn't play it.
Yeah.
I didn't play
Yeah.
many of these. Or
I don't think a
actually,
remake should
I didn't
ever
play
win
any
Game
of
of the
these.
Year. I don't think a remake. I didn't either. I don't think a remake should ever win Game of the Year. To be honest,
Yeah.
like even if they made revolutionary changes, like you're building off of a pre-existing
An
product.
already goated game. If it's getting remade,
Yeah.
it's already a goated game.
It's
So,
like MW Remastered winning Game of the Year
Yeah.
back in 2018 or whatever
Yeah.
that was. Super Mario Bros. Wonder. Guessing that was a Switch game.
yeah, just a Nintendo, another Mario game. Shout out Mario.
What was the one? What was the one before it? Odyssey.
Yeah, Odyssey is like goated.
I heard it was great. Yeah. And then Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. If I had to guess, I feel like that's in third place.
Yeah.
Zelda. I don't know.
From reviews I've seen, it wasn't as good as Breath of the Wild, the first one, on Switch.
Yeah, the first one's Breath of the Wild. I mean, like
Yeah.
my manager told me she liked Tears of the Kingdom better and like
Really?
100%ed it and like stuff
Damn.
like that. So like I know there's people out there that think this one's better,
Mm-hmm.
but I think the general consensus amongst these Nintendo players is Breath of the Wild's better.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean,
So my vote is
solid.
going to Spider-Man 2. That's my vote.
Yeah, solid games. I gotta say Baldur's Gate just because it's like some shit we've
Revolutionary.
never seen before.
Yeah, I think my bias is definitely a factor in that. Best ongoing game is the next category. We got Fortnite, Cyberpunk, Apex, and 2 other games that no one cares about. Do you remember what those games were?
No, I didn't care.
All right, that speaks to it. I think this is the most obvious answer of all time.
What you think is Fortnite? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially after the
I
OG
mean,
hype that happened
yeah.
this year. Yeah. Yeah, they'll win that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this Saturday at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, they're doing the live event. I cannot wait for that.
Yeah, we'll have
and
to.
Eminem comes out.
tune into
Eminem comes to Fortnite
I think
tomorrow.
he's
I'm
already
buying
out.
his.
I thought he's already out.
He has early access for content creators.
Gotcha.
Um,
I gotta
yeah, I'm
say
going
real
Fortnite
quick.
in a landslide.
I gotta say, shout out to Cyberpunk, dude. They turned that shit around, bro. Do you remember how
forgot.
bad it was at first?
Oh, it was horrible.
Dude, I get nonstop tweets now that say like this is one of the greatest story games I've ever played. Like, if it dropped like this, people would think this is like the best game ever. And
Yeah,
it's insane. Like they made a full
you got
180.
me on it.
It took a long time, but they finally got here.
Yeah, you got me on it. I was playing it for like a week,
Yeah.
and I guess all the other games came out, and I haven't gone back to. I was having a great time playing it, and I was just playing the original one, not even the
Mm-hmm.
Liberty
Phantom
DLC
Liberty.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Phantom Liberty DLC that came out. So, ongoing game though, I don't see. I guess because they released that DLC, I guess it is an ongoing game.
Yeah.
But I guess I wouldn't have thought of it initially. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
my
wouldn't
vote
either.
goes to Fortnite for that one. Best esports athletes. So there were 2 League of Legends players. I personally hate MOBAs. Can't watch them. Don't understand them. Skill gap, I guess. So we don't care about those guys. But the other 4 we do know. The first 3 are Hydra from Call of Duty, the New York Subliners. Demon 1, the absolute breakout star for the Valorant tour.
That is
part of-
actually got to be my vote. That man changed the course of their entire season, bro.
absolute 100% my vote.
Yeah.
Demon 1. One absolute. Not only did he single-handedly prove to be a change necessary for them to win and catapulted them to a championship, he was just so fun to watch, bro.
Mhm.
Talking shit,
Yeah.
shooting bodies, cussing in
Teabagging.
interviews. Like he was he was a spectacle.
He
He was literally a
was.
spectacle for 3 months.
Especially in Valorant though. Like in COD, that shit kind of comes with the territory. Like
normal.
Scrappy is like the guy that
Demon
does all
1.
that shit. But that's kind of COD's, community.
Niche.
Yeah, like that's their thing. So to see it in Valorant where people are
Animated.
extremely I don't know,
Yeah.
soft.
Yeah,
compared.
someone got banned in I think it was in an Asian country. There was a tournament going on and they teabagged in game
Yeah.
and they got banned or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah,
So
Demon 1
Demon
would
1's
be-
definitely different.
He'd be sentenced to jail for 6 months if he lived there.
Imperial Hal is the next one. I love Apex. I think it's the best competitive battle royale. He definitely deserves to be on here as a finalist. Winning the comeback they had at Apex Champs, I still watch that to this day. Anytime
Damn.
it comes up on my feed, I will watch that. It is super electric. They win the last 3 games of the tournament to win the game or win the tournament. Definitely the most goated Apex player, and definitely deserves to be on here. Don't think he's gonna win, but definitely deserves to be on here. Zaiwu, this is a CS player, right?
Yeah, yeah. So he was on Vitality. The man was just a god in the
Really?
last major, yeah, and they won the whole thing.
Is this in CS2?
No, that was the last like CS:GO major, the Paris
Okay.
one that happened like I don't even
Gotcha.
know when, a few months ago.
Gotcha. Yeah. Um, Definitely voting Demon One on that. I mean,
Mhm.
just pure. I mean, from every stance that you look at this award for best esport athlete, he wins every caliber. Gameplay, Demon One. You could probably argue Hydra on that, but
Yeah,
gameplay,
I
Demon
gotta say
One,
though, Hydra's like run from the online matches before the last major and then on through champs was insane,
elite,
bro. Like he was
elite.
dropping like 1.44 in series and shit. Like dude was going
Yeah,
crazy.
he's insane. I mean, you look at personality, he was captivating. You look at impact, absolutely the biggest impact out of any of these players. And so definitely get my vote for best esport athlete.
Shout out
Um,
Demon One.
Shout out Demon One. But to wrap us up here, we're gonna do our pick in our bands. Um, this is where you cut to when we do it because I have to think about mine.
Same. I was gonna say some bullshit.
All right, welcome back to our last segment of the podcast. We are doing pick in bands where we pick one thing that we love, whether that's sports related, life related, literally any aspect of your daily life. Pick one that you. So this is your love, your like of the recent time, and then your band, something that you're pissed about in this current. So I'll do my pick first. Dax pick my band, your band. My pick is Sweatpants. Sweatpants, a great time for sweatpants during Thanksgiving season. You can eat as much as you want, and your pants will never be too tight. Me myself, I wore sweatpants to Thanksgiving. I think that's the first time I've done it in a few years, and I've learned from my past mistakes here. Was able to put 2 plates away, and the only causation I felt from it was I took a 30-minute nap afterwards. So that's gonna be my pick for this episode of sweatpants.
I need some jeans with like a sweatpants like elastic band around the waist, you know? So then like if I put my shirt over it, you won't see the sweatpant part.
Exactly.
But the rest is jeans, so I look dressed up. But I
have a great pair of pants from Target that look like khaki pant. They look khaki pant material, and they have like the gray and brown like check plaid, like really small, and they look pretty formal. But they're sweatpant material, and they tie.
Oh,
And
snap.
so I wear those to work. I look spiffy, and I just have a collared shirt over it, and no one knows. It's the best.
I may have to do something like that.
Shout out Target.
Dang. All right. My pick is the good old Chicago Bears, man. Duh, Bears. We are back, bro. I'm feeling good about our future now. I kind of see the vision.
Back is a stretch.
First part of the season, right, was just abysmal. I was like, tank, get Justin Fields out. This team sucks. Eberflus, the coach, get him out. I still believe in that.
I still think he needs to go.
Yes, but I want to keep him as a defensive coordinator because he's been calling all our plays the last like month, and the Bears defense has looked a lot better. We have the leading tackler in the NFL at linebacker. I forget his name, number 53. He's new. But either way, defense is picking up. They're looking better, and I kind of want to just get Marvin Harrison Jr. in the draft and then keep Fields another year and see how that goes. Maybe pick up another lineman with the other pick.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a solid plan. Yeah, absolutely. I don't see why. I don't think Justin Fields has shown enough weakness to lose his job. I definitely think every time that he looks poor or has bad games, it's not him for the most part. You know, it's the play calling. Yeah, it's the preparation leading up to the game. You know, and then the calling on the coaching on the field. So I definitely think you do not draft a quarterback. Like I just think that's dumb for your organization. I think it's bad for the future performance for Justin Fields. Like you had him for
This is
2
his
years, and
third year now, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was a rookie last year.
No.
Damn, it's his 3rd year.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe
Still,
get him
I
out.
still think you give him another year. I still think you give him this
Yeah,
next year when you
I'm
have
down
2
to
first
try.
round picks.
I'm down to
You have
try another year.
2 top 5 picks,
Yeah,
right?
right now. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll see. It's a battle. It's a
Yeah.
tank battle.
Yeah.
But also, if we got Harbaugh in there, that'd be kind of sick.
That would be
we
sick.
got Harbaugh from Michigan. With
I think he's going to go to the
Fields
Chargers,
another
though.
year. Yeah, he might. Damn. But that'd be
Might go
sick.
to
He
the-
played for the Bears when he was a pro. He played for the Bears.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he has
Nice.
ties to the team.
Cool. Well, those are our picks. Shout out Sweatpants and Bears. The Bears.
Bears.
My ban is Uber drivers.
Oh,
this
no.
week. So this past weekend was my girlfriend's birthday. It was Saturday. Happy birthday, Cass. We went out, got an Airbnb in Fort Worth. Did some pre-gaming out there, stayed the night there, and then we went out to Fort Worth that night and partied it up in 7th Street and had a great time at a piano bar. Ended up outside of the Stockyards area, called an Uber. It's me in the front seat. It's a 3-seater in the back, 4 girls, all in shape, skinnier girls that can absolutely squeeze in the back seat. Right, 4 of them. I'm in the front. I'm bigger than all of them. I'll sit in the front. And as they're getting in, he's like, I can only take 4. And I'm like, bro, we're going 5 minutes. We're going 5 to 10 minutes from here. I'll pay for a ticket if you get one. And he said, no, I can only take 4. You got to get out. And I was like, bro, are you serious? We've been waiting for you for 20 minutes, and you're going to kick us out? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, I started getting mouthy with him. And then we got out of the car. One of the girls proceeded to slam the fuck out of his door. So that was kind of probably just one of them drunk and being mad.
Damn.
But then as I got out, I was flipping him off. And then next thing you know, he's like putting his phone up next to the window and taking a picture of me.
Oh, my God.
And I was just like, I'm pretty sure he got a picture of me just flipping him off.
Bro.
So he was an asshole, and then we had to we ordered a Lyft after that, and we had to wait a little bit for them. So he had extended our
But the
night
Lyft
by
took
like
you?
25 minutes. The Lyft took us just fine, and he
Yeah,
was like,
bro.
fuck that other guy. He was cool. The second guy was cool.
Oh, my God.
Exactly. So it's just I should have. So my pick is Sweatpants and Lyft drivers, and my ban is Uber drivers.
Yeah, damn, bro. All right. My ban is weddings in December. All right. It was brought to my attention today. So my cousin is getting married on Saturday, and she decided that her wedding was going to be on conference championship weekend in college football. So I'll probably be watching games on my phone, but
Yep.
you know that, and it's like a week after Thanksgiving, which is just a little inconvenient. So
Untimely.
I'm happy for her, but we
Is
could
it at least an indoor
done
wedding?
better. Yeah. It's
Okay,
indoor and stuff,
that's good.
but we definitely could have done better scheduling wise. I'm disappointed in the
could have done
family.
better.
All right, I'm disappointed in the fam. It's just poor planning. It's inconveniencing almost every male that will be in that building.
The bride is your cousin,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Okay, and Brad is the husband.
No.
Brad,
No.
not Brad.
No, they've been married. It's her younger sister. So Jessica.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. And Allie's the one getting married.
Yeah. She's
Okay,
our age,
gotcha.
and
Gotcha.
that's piss poor planning, man. That's tough.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be
All
watching
good.
Georgia and Bama on my phone. Shout out.
Chat, let's go Bama. Let's
Yeah.
go Bama, baby.
I-
Get Texas in the playoff.
I
Get
want
Texas in the playoff.
Bama. I want Bama to win just for the chaos that it will cause the committee trying to
So,
figure
that's
out
what-
who's gonna get in.
Yes,
Yeah.
because I want Texas to get in so bad.
Yeah, you need some of these undefeated teams to lose this weekend, especially
I mean,
Florida
they
State.
are.
Especially Florida State.
Yeah, I
They-
need
they
Oregon
need
to
to
win,
lose.
and we need Bama to win. Michigan's probably a lock.
Yeah, they're a lot.
And then either Oregon
Oregon
or
or,
Washington. I don't really think it matters of those two who
I don't think
win
it does
because
either. Either one's getting in.
right. So like, we just need FSU to lose,
Mhm.
and then it's either going to be us or the winner of Oregon and Washington. And so if that stuff happens, right, and so the committee's going to have a tough time
Yeah.
doing that. So yeah, excited for that. But I mean, anything else you'd like to touch on before we wrap this up, Sir Daculus?
Looking forward to the COD season 1 to start. That's kind of what I'm waiting on, honestly, bro. Because I don't really care to grind camos and just play pubs on skill-based matchmaking.
Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah.
I've been trying to do it. I'm not grinder, but when I don't have wagers to play, that's what I'll do. Almost done with Forged on my ARs. So if you ever want to see some camo grinding or some wagers, tune into twitch.tv/bzanny. I'll be live most a couple weeknights a week playing some wagers. So tune in. But we appreciate y'all for tuning in for episode 5 of the Next Wave podcast. Again, I'm Blake Bzanny Janny, joined by my co-host Dak D Woody Woodall. Thank you guys for joining. Have a blessed week. We'll see you next episode.
Peace.